Hello, everybody, and welcome to the ShoddyCast's Ask Us Anything.
Ask Us Anything.
This was to kind of commemorate our 50,000th mark for subscribers.
Yeah.
Even though now it's kind of like at 60,000.
Yeah, sorry
so long.
for the delay, guys. Obviously, you know, our other videos take priorities first, and, you know, we wanted to get that, the arena video out for you all, which I hope you thoroughly enjoyed. Yeah, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started with this Ask Us Anything, where we answer pretty much anything you guys were willing to ask. This will be a very long video too, I have no doubt, so if you stick around, hats off to you for that.
Okay, first one from the Ant Cubing. Oh, this is going to be great. What are your plans for future shows and the future of the ShoddyCast?
Oh man, you're not
big one.
You started with a hard ball. You caught me off guard.
I came out swinging, man.
All right, well, fair enough. So do you want to take the lead on this, or shall
Future shows? Well, I can start and you can fill in the blanks because there will be plenty of them. Well, I think we're definitely going to more focus on the lore of not just Elder Scrolls, but other games as well. We want to start branching out into other games that have very involved back history, lore, all that kind of stuff, because they deserve it. There's a lot of games out there that deserve recognition, not just Elder Scrolls, believe it or not. So yeah, we want to branch off and start doing more lore videos for you guys.
Yeah, it seems to be like I've said before, the bread and butter of the channel. You guys like it a lot. We like doing it a lot. So it's just a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit. So yeah, definitely lore is what we'll be tackling as the channel is going forward. And that's something we've been tossing around for a while now, because initially we thought, you know, with the success of ESO Weekly, oh, maybe news is our thing. We'll do a sort of news. So many YouTubers do news.
True.
Like, you need to do something that's going to set you apart from everyone else, and there doesn't seem to be that many people really tackling the whole lore thing, aside from the awesome videos, lore in a minute videos.
Yeah, those are good. Those are good.
I love those.
Yeah, we like to do it more evolved, more in-depth look at.
Oh yes, we're evolved. Yes, we're too good. Yeah, no.
Yes.
Yeah,
Connoisseur.
We look at the lore seriously is what we're doing basically, and you know, dissecting it. So there you go.
Let's see, Big Bones A Axis.
That's always a hard one.
What do you prefer, Skyrim or Oblivion, and why?
What do I prefer?
Like, if you had to choose one, I guess.
It's not a loaded question at all.
Not at all, no.
No. Like, okay, I'm gonna approach this from, like, if I was locked in a room and had to play this game for the rest of my life.
No mods.
No mods.
Vanilla.
Okay, vanilla version. Because I'm gonna say, of course, my most enjoyable one was Oblivion, because it was my first. But let's say I had to stick with one for the rest of my life and play it without mods. I would say Skyrim. I honestly think, if you really break it down, it is the better game because of the fact that, you know, Oblivion, all their dungeons are randomized. They're not handcrafted dungeons. Skyrim, they took a lot more time with the crafting of dungeons. It definitely shows in the gameplay. Also, there's just a lot of overall improvements. Naturally, being the next one in the series, they did improve a lot over Oblivion. But I don't know, what would be your answer on that? It's a hard one.
Aesthetic-wise alone, I'm gonna have to go with Oblivion. It looks better to me, honestly, even though it's the older game.
Really?
Oblivion looks better to me than Skyrim.
Wow. Does that have to do, I have a feeling that has to do with the color saturation for you.
That too, which until I got that high saturation mod for Skyrim, I thought it was a really ugly game. It was just gray. So.
Which people love that too. They say they actually like the grays and it more. They say
it
looks
great
more
in the
to
beginning,
real life.
But it got old.
I definitely know what you mean though. Oblivion's got that more King Arthur, like everything saturated, and makes it more like fantasy
feeling,
than real life. Which, you know, different strokes for different folks.
Next one from Skyrim King 5784. How do you guys spend a normal day of your life?
A normal day in the life of us.
Let's say a normal Thursday for us, since that's probably the most stressful one.
Well, I wake up with an empty bottle of Mountain Dew on my chest.
What?
I crawl out of bed in my mom's basement. I get the pee bottle out, you know.
Wow.
I'm going for the most stereotypical, like, nerd you can go. No. Our lives are more exciting than that.
Not really. Mine's pretty lame.
Okay,
I'll
let you start.
Well, let's just say, okay, things are going to change because I might as well announce now. I'm going to be working for ShoddyCast full time now.
Ooh, it's official.
Yeah. So that means I'll be able to put more time into it, obviously, and you'll see that in the stuff that we'll be doing, because whereas Josh is more of the face of ShoddyCast, as he's more in the foreground, you see his stuff right in your face, like his voice and stuff. You realize he's working, where I do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, which you don't really notice.
Website stuff, the networking stuff. Getting Jesse Cox on the cast 2 weeks ago.
Well,
that
besides
was Kyle.
that, just like the lore stuff, I do the screenshots and stuff. But you'll see that's going to evolve now that I'll have the time to put into it. You'll see more like animation type stuff that you saw in the arena video. Not hand drawn like that, but you'll see things moving. There'll be more animations to it.
Right.
So it'll look more appealing than just a screenshot moving around. But
so what's the normal day for Kyle then right now at the moment?
Oh God, I roll out of bed at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon because I work nights. People don't realize that.
Graveyard shift.
Yes, I work a very shitty job, but only for a few more days, so that'll be good.
That's good.
So yeah, I do that. If we have work, say it's a Thursday, then I start pulling audio questions together, see what news there had been throughout the week, throw all that all together to make a outline for us to do. Then we do our little recording over about an hour or two.
So yeah,
it's then I get ready for work and then drive an hour to work.
Yeah, it's basically been you waking up, working for the ShoddyCast, whether it be on website, social networking stuff, or things for the lore series like screenshots, and then after working that, going to your job and working an 8-hour job, which isn't exactly ideal. So it's gonna be great having you, here full time now with that. So yeah, my days are similar in the fact that I also wake up in the morning. I wake up in the morning. I don't know. It depends on the day. Usually, I always say I try to take weekends off, but I always end up working every day. Because the thing about the ShoddyCast work, I don't really see it as work. It's fun. Like, I thought just the other day I was sitting down and I was like, oh, I really want to play this new game I got on Steam. But at the same time, I kind of rather would work on Project Arena, and so I pulled that out and worked on that.
You
instead.
loser.
I don't know. I like the work of it. Makes it not so much like work. But yeah, I'll wake up. On my ideal day, I'll go work out. Usually, like today, I'll have a protein shake, go work out. We have a gym here at the apartment, or I'll ride my bike. Not right now. Florida summers are too brutal for that, but too terrible.
It's like swimming out there.
Yeah, I'll work on ShoddyCast stuff and also some sports time work. We have a summer camp we run out for the summer. It's
shameless whoring his sports camp.
Yeah, so hey, if you're in the Orlando area and are looking for a summer camp for your child, Sports Time. Sportstime.net. Check it out.
With a Y.
With a Y, yes. Anyway, yeah, it's usually business type stuff, and then at night I usually try to step away from all the work and stuff because I kind of have workaholic type tendencies, and I'm very obsessive compulsive with that sort of stuff too.
Yeah, you are.
Where I'll freaking just envelop myself in it all. So I'll step away from it and either play some Castle Crashers with Kyle or something else gaming wise with one of my buddies. But yeah, that's pretty much a normal day.
Oh, that sounded boring. All right, so next question.
No, not that interesting.
From Cicerith. Will there be a seasons system for the lore?
Probably maybe 8,000 people when it's all said and done will view this video, and there'll be a ton of people that won't know this stuff we're about to say, but you guys will, because you listen to us. You're our dedicated fans. So the Elder Scrolls lore series right now, we've been going on, what is this? We're going to be coming up on chapter 12 right now.
Yeah.
The Bretons.
So that means like 6 months worth of stuff.
Yeah. So we still got a lot of races left to cover. We're going to finish off the races for the Elder Scrolls lore series, which is at least, I think it is like 6 more chapters or something like that. And then once we're done with the races, we're going to call that the Season 1 of the Elder Scrolls lore series. So you guys will know we've covered all the gods, Daedra, Aedra, guilds, pretty much all the generals. we're going to call that season 1, and then we're going to take probably a brief intermission. I don't want to go into the details of what we're going to do after that because
It's a secret.
it's a secret, and not really that it's a secret, more that we might have plans to do something and then do something else too. Like, that seems to happen a lot with us.
Not sure what we're gonna do.
We have no idea. We're just stumbling around in the dark, totally oblivious. No.
Wow.
But yeah, that'll be season 1 of the Elder Scrolls lore series, and then season 2 of the Elder Scrolls lore series, you guys will be seeing more. I want to go into the more main characters of the story. Like a lot of people, the Nord videos, oh, I want more on Tiber Septim and, you know, Talos and that stuff. Or for the Dark Elf videos, everybody was like, oh, let's talk more about Vivek and the Tribunal. Like, I would like to go into those characters, and we talked about this. We would like to go into more of the main characters of the story, the people that have shaped events on Tamriel, and events, major events as well, like the Oblivion Crisis and the Red Year and things like that. So yeah, that'll be season 2 of the Elder Scrolls lore series. But so the simple answer to that question is yes.
Yes. C. Next question. Gecko Gaming. When playing in an MMO, what role do you usually take on? Tanks, healer, DPS, or that really annoying healer that tries to do DPS and wipes the party? That's probably me.
Yeah,
that's gonna be me.
That is. So what do you do? You're usually a DPS type guy, right?
I am almost always a DPS.
Yeah.
What ends up happening is I usually start making a ranged caster type character to do DPS, and then it turns out I find it boring because I like to be up in that shit.
In the gritty fray.
So I end up making a melee character like the Nightblade. I think my first character was a warrior, a Tauren warrior in World of Warcraft. I'm just using this as a reference. And but yeah, I guess I like DPS a lot, but in ESO I'm going to be going heals for group activities, and then solo I'm going to be doing DPS.
Yeah. And that's
Melee
assuming
DPS.
the heals dish out, because you still want to be in the fray with the heals.
Is why I'm so interested in ESO, because the heals, you're going to have to be up in there in the combat, so it's going to be great.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll work out well, and you'll feel that different playstyle, because yeah, up until now you love the damage meters, you love topping the charts in your raids and stuff.
Wait, that came out wrong.
I love being on top. It's my favorite position. Speaking of which, since we're on the note, a lot of you guys are creepy, like super creepy. Can I just say hundreds of comments in our last video where we asked you guys to give us your questions are very sexual and personal. I had a friend of mine who had never checked out the ShoddyCast before, check out the ShoddyCast, and he came back thinking that our audience here are a bunch of pervs.
His life was forever changed as he saw questions like penile girth and
ShoddyCast, what are you wearing? Like questions like that.
Actually, that's one of our last questions.
Oh gosh.
But anyways.
Yeah, we liked. What was the question?
I don't know. What was it? What was your play style in MMOs?
Hey, we get to go on rabbit trails. This is a special video. We get to go on rabbit trails. Tanking. I started out as a DPS in MMOs, and then come the Death Knight, I got into tanking because I thought, oh, tanking with a two-handed sword, now that sounds cool. And turned out I loved it. So yeah, I haven't looked back ever since. I've been tanking in any PvE situation, and I plan to do that also in ESO. All right, next question.
Cool. Okay. I don't know if this is supposed to be Sith Lord or Scythe Lord, so I said both. Asks. I have made numerous YouTube accounts attempting to start up a popular YouTube channel, but never got any views except for a couple people. And this would be the case for weeks and sometimes months. Any help or advice would be awesome.
Okay, first mistake, you made multiple YouTube accounts. The biggest thing, like as far as success on YouTube and in business in general, when you're looking for it, you gotta stick with something, right? You don't want to bail out. One of my most favorite stories, and I'll summarize it because some of you might think this is boring, but one of my favorite stories from one of the books I read is that there was this guy that had purchased a plot of land, and this is a true story, this really happened, up in like Montana towards Canada or something, and he was digging for gold with his son, right? They dug and dug and dug, and for months this went on, and finally he thought, okay, this isn't a good plot of land, we're gonna move on with our lives. He ended up selling it. The guy that bought the land dug 1 foot deeper the next day and struck gold. Became a millionaire overnight with that. And it's one of the most depressing stories, but one of the more inspiring stories as well, because it just teaches you perseverance, right? You want to stick with something, and you got to stick it out. You go back and look at the ShoddyCast. How did we start, Kyle? I mean, we started with your favorite series of games, Guild Wars, right?
Guild Wars 2 type stuff, and we were only getting, God, like a couple hundred views was a very good day for us.
To release a video and to get our first 1,000 views was like, oh my God.
Yeah, now if we got 1,000, we'd kill ourselves or something. I don't know.
Oh, definitely. We'd skip straight to depression. We'd kill ourselves.
We'd be like, okay, we are not doing another video like that. But yeah, like you said, perseverance and just sticking with it, especially with a YouTube thing where your name is everything. You have to keep that channel name so people can actually know who you are and what you've done. If you're switching channel names because, this doesn't seem to work, well, then no one's going to know who you are because you keep switching it. So that, and also you want to, like Jesse Cox says, be a shameless whore. You want to whore your name, your channel, who you are, what you do to everyone who is, even if they aren't willing to listen, I don't care, you shove it down their throats. So you want...
So aggressive.
So like what we did, and you know, what Josh had searched, one of the best things to do is to find forums and stuff that talk about the games or whatever you're covering, and then just start posting your videos there every week, assuming they let you do that. And just get your stuff out there. It's not going to do it on its own. I mean, people aren't just going to all of a sudden find you and you become a star overnight. That rarely ever happens. You have to do the work, get your stuff out there. So find forums, find other media out there that you can then advertise your stuff.
Right.
And get your name out there and become known.
Yeah, we're not promoting like spamming. Obviously, keep it relevant. If you're, say, for instance, you were starting up an Elder Scrolls series, go to forums where people are actually talking about something that involves your series. Say it's a mod series. Like, go to forums where they're discussing mods or whatever. Like, search for relevant topics and things like that. And then, yes, just like you said, it's not something... To make an awesome video isn't enough. You could make the best video ever. It's not going to get views until you start promoting it yourself. Luckily, at this point in the ShoddyCast, we're in a good enough place where we don't have to share so much and promote, because our fans will do that for us. But you have to first get to that point. Our first ever, just to wrap this up, our first ever breakthrough with the ShoddyCast, and where we actually broke that 1,000 views for a video, was we were making Guild Wars 2 videos for quite a while, and you can go check, they're still on the channel now, so you can go take a look at them. We started a gold series called Gold Guru, and Kyle was looking for farming spots and stuff like that. And we found a blog. This is another great avenue you should take. We found a blog that was strictly Guild Wars 2 gold making. That's what they did. And I said, hey, I approached the blog guy. He had a contact thing on his blog, and I approached him and said, hey, we make this YouTube series that's about Guild Wars 2 gold making. How about we write some articles for you and you allow us to post videos on your blog? That gave us, I think our first video we did with that made like 4,000 to 5,000 views within the first couple weeks, which to us at the time was incredibly amazing. And so, yeah, just get yourself out there. You have to not be afraid of marketing yourself.
Advertise like shameless whores.
Yes. Whores.
All right.
Good question.
Dr. Hydrus asks, more Let's Plays? So let's cover the Let's Play topic and why we aren't doing them.
Sure.
I guess the short answer is they just don't get enough views to warrant doing them, and it's not really what our channel is about. This could change, whereas we might make a sister account or something later on down the road, should enough people want it, and then that would be somewhere we would post our Let's Plays. But I guess to us, to be posting Let's Plays would kind of water down our other more serious material.
Yeah.
So if people just saw a bunch of Let's Plays on our channel, if they hadn't been there before, then they'll think, oh, well, this is just another one of those LP channels where just someone posts their crap and hope people watch it. That's just not what we're about. We're about, usually serious content, at least when it comes to the lore stuff. We try to not be serious all the time because we know you guys enjoy our banter and stuff, so...
Yeah, gotta be entertaining.
But yeah, that's basically the not so short version of why we do Let's Plays.
Sure, you cover it.
Or don't do.
I have nothing to add. That's exactly right.
Okay. Noah Hewitt asks, after ESO is released, will you guys still have ESO Weekly?
Huh. That's a hard one. I
really
don't know.
decided fully. Like, it wouldn't be what it has been, obviously, since, the game will have released. There won't be just news coming in constantly about the game. So it could evolve maybe into a monthly show where we talk about maybe patches or something like that, stuff they've added. We're not sure. It might just not be worth doing anymore since the game would be out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean we would stop covering ESO. It just wouldn't be news-oriented.
It wouldn't be news-oriented, right? And I'm just spitballing this off you now. What if we just did like a general like gaming? Like I actually like doing the podcast format, like a 45-minute show just every week. I like sitting down with you and talking games. Mm-hmm. And even if it's something that wouldn't get a lot of views, I would still like to do that. And so I would like to keep some sort of news type podcasty thing on the channel, but who knows?
This is still like 9 months down the road, so I mean, we still have time to think about what we're gonna do and on that jazz. Lord Christack 99. What music do you listen to?
Oh wow. So the majority of music I listen to is actually gaming soundtracks.
It's true.
Like Tess soundtracks, obviously. Fallout, Deus Ex has an amazing soundtrack I love. Mass Effect I'll listen to. And I'll listen to those tracks even while working out too. I get pumped with some of the tracks on Mass Effect. That crazy club music and stuff. Right. I really like gaming soundtracks. And I think that's come across in a lot of the videos too.
They movie soundtracks too. Pretty much anything by, was it Jeremy Soule and Howard Shore, the guy who did Lord of the Rings stuff. But then beyond that, I also like a lot of different rock genres, stuff that Josh would never listen to. A lot of the heavy metal stuff, and I'll even listen to dubstep when I feel the pulse in my heart beating. I need some dubstep going on. I'll do that as well. Mainly because I have a subwoofer in my car and you don't. And it really helps.
Yeah, that's maybe part to do with it. I don't know. I'll listen to a dubstep song or two that I like, but majority of the music, it's tough driving with you in the car sometimes.
It is,
because some of your music, I'm like, let's put on some Guild Wars soundtracks.
He's like, I don't want them sounding like they're yelling at me.
Yeah, it's just so angry. I feel like I did something wrong. I don't know. But
you did. You got in my car.
As far as like modern music, I'm thinking like, actually, a music that I've been listening to a ton lately, and Kyle's been laughing at me because I recently, like a month ago or so, I got into Fallout again, and I was playing through there, and you know how they have all the 50s and 60s music.
Yeah. I
was really getting into, and so one of my most listened to Pandora stations now is like Frank Sinatra,
I knew you would say
Dean
that.
Martin, like all those guys. So
you're born in the wrong generation. Man.
Yeah, I guess an old soul. I don't know, but
very old soul.
There you go.
Next one, Brandon Johnson would like to ask, what game have you dedicated the most time to?
Wow. So it's got to be pretty close now between. Oh well, no, it's not even close. I was just thinking.
You got to know an MMO is going to take the cake.
Yeah,
for this one.
World of Warcraft by far. It's not even a competition. My played time is measured in months in World of Warcraft. When I left it, it was beautifully depressing.
Yes. I honestly can't say though if I spent more time in World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 1.
That's a tough one.
I played both pretty much equal amount of time.
You were into them.
So, God, I don't know. It's got to be in between those two. I don't know. Because the social aspect I had more of in Guild Wars 1, because I had a very good guild that I loved being in, still like my favorite guild, the Center Path, for those people that are watching or listening.
Shout out.
Yeah.
To my old
so yeah,
brothers
I spent a lot more time just not actually doing anything, just talking to my friends while we're sitting in our guild hall or something. Which is why I hope they have guild halls in ESO, because they're just, even though they don't really serve much of a purpose, it's just nice to have them there as a social aspect to talk with other guildies.
Oh yeah, it's a great point to bring up, because guilds, I would have quit WoW like years before I did if it wasn't for guilds. Guilds are what keep you around, and if you're listening to this now and you're excited for ESO but have never played an MMO, find a nice guild. It's going to be the difference between a good game and a magnificent game. It makes all the world of difference.
Because I know there's a lot of single-player game-only type people out there that don't realize how much benefit there is to have a social aspect to a game.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
A lot of people haven't played MMOs before. They just don't see the point in them, or they're kind of leery about them because they think they're too involved. They're not. I mean, there's RPGs out there that are more involved than some MMOs are. But yeah, just give it a chance. Find a good guild. If the guild you're in just isn't suiting you, then move on to another one. I mean, there's plenty of guilds to choose from.
Yeah, when you find a group of like-minded gamers that just mesh well together, you'll hang out in different games too. It'll go beyond like a Guild Wars or an Elder Scrolls Online, and you can make some serious friendships. Like, I had some people I would call friends in my guild that I just shoot the breeze with every day. You hadn't even
met them probably in real life.
I mean, when you sit down at your computer and you power up Ventrilo before anything else, and you'll just you're willing just to hang out in there without even being in a game, you know you've made some good friends in there. So yeah, single player is great. Don't get me wrong, I love the immersion. There's some times where I don't feel like talking to anyone and just immerse myself in a single player game. But the guild stuff is just a whole nother great thing as well that everyone should experience sometime.
Next one is from the Cooked Pork Chop. He or she, I'm not sure, would like to ask, if you could have one sword, what would it be?
The sword of 1,000 truths.
I knew you were going to say that. If you could take one sword from any franchise, what sword would you choose?
The sword of 1,000 truths.
You can't go with that one.
From the South Park episode. You know why?
Make love, not Warcraft.
Yeah. Because it's the most badass sword ever made, ever crafted.
And you can't trust it to a noob.
We can't trust a sword of 1,000 truths to a noob.
There's so many swords out there. You got freaking lightsabers, and I mean, there's so many swords out there. Ice.
I don't know. I was a big fan of like the Lord of the Rings, and I kind of wanted an Aragorn type sword, that huge claymore that's like massive in the movie. When I was playing World of Warcraft, like the answer always depends on what like media I'm watching or playing at the time. World of Warcraft Frostmourne was an awesome sword, like the way it consumes souls or whatever. I don't know, if I had to choose one, I'll go with Aragorn's sword.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
I'm gonna go with the minor spoiler sword called Oathkeeper. I'm not gonna go much on the details of what it looks like, but the way I pictured it in my mind, it is the most badass looking sword because it's like a mixture, and it's very unique.
That's Game of Thrones universe?
Yes, Game of Thrones. Even in the Game of Thrones, it's the most unique sword there, just because it's like a mixture of things. OzPony8, what do your family and friends think of your YouTube stardom / 45 minutes of weekly fame?
It all depends on their age, to be quite honest with you. Because the thing about like YouTube media, it's a relatively newer form of media. Well, like when you're talking to your parents about this sort of thing, like they'll listen and nod, but you know that they're not really comprehending it completely. Like, it's just not there. Or I'm talking to my friends who are my age, like they're like, oh, that's cool. Like I would like to try something like that, and we have a discussion about it. But yeah, I'd say it all depends on their age.
Because I know like my mom will sometimes watch it for some reason or another, and she'll be like, she probably misses the sound of my voice or something.
Yeah, that's it. That's
what it is.
But it's like gibberish to her, right?
She just says, I listened to your latest show on whatever, and you know I didn't understand any of it, but it was nice. Whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean that's something we see in gaming all the time too. Like gaming. Who am I talking to gaming about? Well, it's sure. I think what's the average age of a gamer? It's like 38
yeah, it's
or
like
something.
30
like that.
Something now, mid 30s.
Well, I hear that, and where I do believe that statistic and where it comes from. I guess I just don't meet a lot of those people.
They must be
like,
closet gamers or something.
They're closet gamer. I don't know, because I don't meet, like, a lot of them are around my age or Kyle's age, and yeah, and you can talk about gaming with them more, because it is a relatively newer. It's newer than movies. It's newer than books. Books have been around forever. It's newer than comics. It's one of the new mediums. So.
And I don't even ask people if they're into gaming, because they still, oh yeah, I'm into gaming, and then they mean like Wii or something like that. Like they're not into actual gaming.
Or they're Facebook like
yeah,
Farmville.
I play the app on my iPhone all the time. Angry Birds. I love gaming.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, I just want to slap them in the face. So yeah, I don't even ask people that anymore, because they don't. Gaming doesn't mean the same thing to them as it means to actual gamers.
Yeah, we need to come up with a different term. I'm sure there's some term that means
core
like,
gamers. I guess
core gamers. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, are you a core gamer? If they look at you weird, then you know the answer's no.
Yeah, if they look at you and like you have two heads, you know the answer. No.
But I would say that they are proud of us, even if they're not sure exactly what we do. Because a lot of people don't even I've explained it to people, and they still don't get how you make money through YouTube. What do you mean you make money through YouTube? And they just don't get it.
Yeah, the best way I found to explain it, and this is for anyone else out there who is making any sort of income on YouTube, the best way I've seen to explain it to other people that just don't get it is television. You watch television, they have commercials. Those commercials, those ad buys are placed by companies, and those companies are paying to place their ads on those shows, and then the people who made those shows make some money as well as the network and all that. Like, that's the best way I found to explain it. YouTube has ads just like that.
It's just like Mad Men. Watch Mad Men. It's just like that.
Yes.
Except without the bombshell redheads.
I'm Donald Draper. That's what we're trying to say.
Wait, you don't wear underwear?
I also look like Donald Draper.
Yeah. Anyways, next one from Carlos Hernandez. Hi guys, I'm currently 15, about to be 16 soon, and I plan on starting a channel on gaming commentaries. Not your usual games, FPS, but RPGs and other similar games. Any tips for a beginner? What type of software to get? Video camera, minimum computer specs, etc. So let's keep this to the more technical aspects, since we kind of already talked about like how to start a channel. So stuff we use, it's been upgrading over the time thanks to donors and stuff. We've upgraded our mics, but if you're going to start out and be kind of, you know, somewhat serious with your stuff, we always recommend the Blue Snowball.
Yes.
It's a USB mic.
Like $50 on Amazon.
Yeah,
Great
50, 70,
starter mic.
like but yeah, if you're starting out but you want to be serious about it, I mean, that's kind of the first step we took when we decided to be serious. Actually, you had bought one first. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy one too. Except I got a black one instead because you had a silver one?
Yeah, I had a silver one.
I had to be different.
Just had to be different.
Yeah. So that's for that. And again, we recommend Camtasia, which Josh finally learned how to say. He had the hardest time saying that.
Catsmia or something.
Catsmia.
I don't know what I was...
I don't know. But
I have a hard time with words. I do.
Which is funny because we're in the podcast business, but anyway.
Yeah.
It's not the strongest software out there. I mean, there's definitely more powerful things like Adobe Premiere. Is it Premiere? Yeah. And what's the other one?
Sony Vegas.
Yeah, Sony Vegas
is a big one.
Which I actually have both of on my computer.
Yeah.
It's just, you look at it and it's so daunting because there's so many buttons.
It's intimidating.
So instead of wasting time, which eventually I will maybe take a college class on it or something to learn how to use that stuff. But instead of wasting time just learning that, we're sticking with Camtasia because we know the software. We're still learning new little tricks and stuff every once in a while.
Also, we're just not very bright people.
That too, we're stupid, so we might as well use something that's very user-friendly but still does what we want it to do.
Yeah, something that knows you're a moron and treats you accordingly. Like, that is what Camtasia does, and it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, Camtasia, Snowball, and Fraps. Fraps for recording games is a great way to start with.
Yeah, which I had to go back to because stupid AverMedia is not working on my computer for whatever reason. I've tried everything, doesn't work.
We use more professional equipment now with recording games. It's called AverMedia. It's the AverMedia capture card or something.
Yeah, C985.
Yeah, and that is but it's like $300. Wait until.
Well, that was for two of them. That was for two.
Okay,
it's like 150 to 170 bucks, I believe. You can get it on Amazon and stuff.
If you had that kind of money to drop, sure, go ahead and do it. Like, it's fine to start off small though. Like, don't feel like you have to go out and buy all this crazy stuff. It's great to start off small because if you have content that's worth viewing and you're passionate about and you really go for, you'll get fans and they'll follow you and like you, and then they can help support you by donating money and stuff like that, and then you can go out and buy all that high-end stuff that you always dreamed of having.
But for recording, just stick with Fraps. I mean, so many people still use it. Even like the Yogscast, they get millions of dollars a year, and yet they still use Fraps.
Yeah.
So I mean, stick with what you know, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. There's no need. Don't pressure yourself to to change just because you want to stay with the most latest like software and stuff. Hell, we had Jesse Cox on the last podcast. We were talking about how we're still using like like Camtasia and Fraps to record our Skype calls for interviews. And I asked Jesse, you're like a professional guy on YouTube. This is a guy that makes some serious YouTube cash, has been doing it for years. What software do you use? Oh, I still use Fraps to record my Skype calls. I was like, what? So yeah, just go for it. I think Angry Joe still has his blue snowball he has in the background.
He does still have one of those around.
Yeah, so no shame in it, guys.
Use what you can get your hands on and just do the best you can do.
That's what she said. Yeah. Next question.
Okay. Eric McIntyre would like to ask, if you two were to engage in mutual hand-to-hand combat, who would be the victor?
Wait, he said mutual hand or mortal? Like
I'd said mutual, but
mutual.
Maybe
so we're like,
mortal.
Hey, Kyle,
would
let's
you mind
shake hands?
hand to hand?
Would you mind fighting?
Let's
I don't
say
know.
mortal hand-to-hand combat to the death.
Kyle's got that crazy German strength behind him that I'd be afraid of. Because the thing, and we don't bring this up a lot, but we're half brothers. Kyle, you've got the German side of you.
I do have the German.
That had that, but I have that like boxing type Latin thing in me. Yeah. You know. So, I don't know. It'd be hard. I would probably just run in circles, though.
Personality-wise,
I'd run.
You would stick to the etiquette, the fighting etiquette. You would be very strict with that kind of stuff.
Oh, you'd be street.
I will fight very dirty.
Yes.
I will bite, pull hair, fish hook you. I don't care. I will do whatever necessary to kick your ass. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know.
It depends on the rules, I guess. It depends on the rules of the match. There you go. How's that for a cop-out?
Yeah, if it's street, no rules, then I'll probably win.
Yeah.
If it's strictly...
yes.
English to the death.
English gentlemen.
Put up your toque, sir. Then, yeah, he'd probably kick my ass. So that's that. All right, DMCW Gamer, have you played The Legend of Zelda? If so, which one is your favorite? So I think we've both you've played both Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Barely. The most I played where I actually beat it was Twilight Princess.
Okay, yeah, the more, I don't want to say original because it's been on NES and stuff, but for the N64 stuff, that was probably a little bit before your time.
Yeah.
I played, I think, the majority of the Zelda games, even some of the NES ones, though not nearly as much as the N64. I played the shit
N64
out of Ocarina of Time.
Loved it.
I killed that game.
Yeah.
And Majora's Mask as well. I'm still gonna have to go with the Ocarina of Time was just a better game, but
were those like your console gaming? Like, did that get you into console gaming? Like, or at least in?
I would say so. I mean, like I said, I had an NES, but I guess I should say my dad had an NES, and he played it the majority of the time before you were around.
Really? I didn't know Dad played console games.
Yeah. I told you he's a closet nerd.
He is. Our dad, he just needs to come out of that gaming closet and admit it.
Yeah, definitely tons of time into NES Zelda game, or N64 Zelda games. So I'm going to go with Ocarina of Time, the classic. Paul Obama, that can't be your name. When the ShoddyCast Guild performs the nude raids, where in Tamriel or Oblivion would you guys hold it?
Anywhere and everywhere.
The nude raids, I think, is going to mostly be in Cyrodiil, because that's where it'd have the most impact of having a bunch of naked people running towards them. We're hoping the sheer numbers will scare them, and that we're fearless running without armor into the fray.
You know, if anyone's willing to run into battle nude, that's the guy you don't want to F with, man.
But we have a lot of events planned. It's going to be very fun. I think one of them is just making it from the furthest place we can get to in our area, and then you'll have to run to the opposite of the map of enemy territory. So it's going to be very amusing to see them if they can actually make it all the way to the other side.
We were kind of talking about making a competition too, like whoever got there first, like win something.
Give them a prize or something.
Yeah,
so
some sort of prize.
It's going to be amusing to see a bunch of naked people running for their lives. Assassinator6267. I've only subscribed a few days ago, and you guys have so much interesting content that I've watched at least 10 hours of your content.
Wow.
That's dedication.
Yes. Bravo, sir. More people should be like you.
Do you guys have a specific order to your videos to keep them entertaining, or do you just ramble on in the hope that people will enjoy it?
Ramble on and hope people enjoy
It's
it.
kind of actually like both, because like
Yeah.
we have an outline every week. Like our ESO weekly videos are outlined to the T, but then just naturally we do start rambling on
Oh, yeah.
about specific topics that just, you know, pique your interest. Like we've done probably 15 times already on this video. So yeah, it's kind of both.
Yeah, it's not fun unless you can feel free enough to talk about what you want to talk about, you know.
Yeah. Last one is actually a three-parter. Three Munchin Man. Okay. Do you guys wear boxers or briefs?
Here's one of those creepy questions we're talking about. There you go.
Currently boxers, though I think in the next 10 years I'll probably go to boxer briefs for that added support, but still not as, you know, constrictive.
I don't like how restrictive your options are. Boxers or briefs. Maybe I wear a thong.
Oh,
maybe
God.
that's maybe banana hammock. Maybe
I
that's
hope
my
not.
thing. You know, why isn't that an option? I refuse to answer your question, sir.
Ladies' underwear, granny panties he wears. What are, and second part, what are your favorite genres of movies and why? God, I like so many of them though. I mean, I love sci-fi fantasy. Any of that stuff is awesome. I, on the other hand, love horror movies, whereas you hate them.
No, because I'm a coward when it comes
Anything
to
that gets my heart racing, be it a very suspenseful, suspenseful thriller, or even if it's a B horror movie, I still get a laugh out of it.
What was that movie you wanted? What's out right now that you wanted to see?
The Conjuring.
I mean, I'll go see it with you, but just a fair warning: I'm buying popcorn and I'm
You
dropping my
hide your
I'm
eyes?
dropping my keys in them. I'm dropping my
Oh,
keys
drop something.
and I'm
Oh.
searching the popcorn the whole movie.
Oh God.
Like fantasy, like medieval fantasy, and that applies to television as well as movies. Anything that has that medieval fantasy, I'm going to be skewed in that direction. I do have a preference for that, to where, like for instance, Merlin. Merlin is a show that is I like it. It's enjoyable. But the greatest thing it has going for it for me is that it is a fantasy, medieval theme type magic and swords show. If it wasn't that, I probably wouldn't watch it. Actually, I wouldn't watch it. I know that for a fact.
It's over though. Well,
It
you don't
is-
know. You haven't watched the final season yet, because
Yeah,
it hasn't been on Netflix.
I have a season still to go on that, but
So you're good, but I finished.
yeah, any medieval fantasy for sure. I'll go for it. Sci-fi too is good. So.
And I love melodramas. They're just so great.
Oh yes.
No, I hate them. Have you guys delved into the world of board games or card games such as Settlers of Catan, Magic, anything like that?
We're about to go play
Yes.
one game right now.
It's very interesting that you should say that, because yeah, we're about to go play some Castle Panic.
Castle Panic.
We both love the tabletop series on Geeks and Sundry.
Yeah, with Will Wheaton.
We love that series. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
I
fun.
never knew that world until I started watching that series. I don't know if you had played any tabletop games before, but I didn't go much past Monopoly. Monopoly was probably the most complicated of the board games I've played, but yeah, it's a whole new world, and it's fun, especially when you have a group of people to play it with.
All right, let's throw out an invitation though. Anyone in the Orlando area that isn't a serial killer, because I know there's a lot of them out there, but like maybe has some kind of board game group or something that goes on every week or month or something, let us know, I guess.
Hell yeah, I would
wouldn't
totally
mind
go
hanging
back.
out, with people that especially adore us. I mean, why not? But
Yes. Oh yes. Like superstars, these guys. Totally.
21 and over would be awesome too, because then I can drink and not feel bad because I'm playing with 13-year-olds or something.
My only requirement is that we meet in a public place for the first time. That's it.
I don't want to become a creepy lampshade, or what was it? A lampshade in someone's creepy apartment. All right, any
all right.
closing remarks you'd like
That was our
to?
last question. I guess my closing remark will be thank you guys. Especially if you're listening to this video too, you're one of our more dedicated, and it's been quite a journey, and the massive amount of support and all your kind comments on our videos and your likes and all that. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have made it this far. And we try to pay you back by increasing our quality of our videos, and we've got some big plans yet to come. And so basically what I'm saying is I love you. I love you.
Wow. Wow.
I'm being super
Okay.
creepy. The
And on
longer I
that
talk,
note,
the creepier I'll get.
You're
Like,
becoming like those commenters.
you have to cut me off, or I'll just keep going. The creepy meter will tick up as I talk.
All right, so close it, man. Let's play some Castle Panic.
All right, right on, ladies and gentlemen. You have been listening to the ShoddyCast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have been Josh.
And I've been Kyle.
And we'll catch you later.
Boy.